Oh, I got hair in my eye. I have so much hair in my eye. Oh, I have hair in my eye. Alright, are we ready to cut some hair? So the first thing you're seeing me do is put a bag over my sink so I don't get hair down the drain. This haircut took about 40 minutes, so be sure to section off some time because you're gonna want to be patient. The first step we'll be doing is parting. Very important part, nobody ever mentions it, but you want that disconnect from where your layers meet your long hair. And I have an undercut, so you're not going to see much of a difference once I take it out. But if you have longer hair or you use long extensions, it's going to look really cool. So I go from about the top of my ears all the way back and put all that in a ponytail and just forget it's there until the very end. Of course, I always have to preface this by saying there are 1,000 ways you can style and cut this hairstyle, so I will be using pictures and references to show you my way compared to other ways of doing it. So the second step we're going to do, still on parting, is pulling our bangs forward. My hair kind of already falls the way I want it to, but usually for this hairstyle you want a deep side part, which would be about the end of your eyebrow to a point on your head. As you can see, my part is a little more closer to the center as opposed to the deep part I was just explaining. And I did that so my bangs would lay flat rather than being side swept. If you do want those side swept bangs, you're going to want to keep your bangs a lot longer. So once you've made your part, you just follow that line as far back as it goes and follow through on both sides of your head to the front of your ear. Now we can finally start cutting our hair. You're going to want to start with a piece that's right in front of the eye that you use to see, of course, and use that as a guide because that's going to be the shortest piece out of your whole head. Out of all your layers, you're going to want that piece to be the shortest. There are 3 types of cutting techniques we'll be using throughout this video. The first one is a point cut, which is what I'm doing now. It's when you use the tip of the scissors and you just barely go in on the ends of your hair. That is a good way to cut out a lot of hair, thin out hair, make hair look choppy without cutting off too much length. Now that I'm comfortable with the length, I'm going to follow through in a diagonal line. This is going to create our fanned out to the side part. The second technique is a slide cut, and this is when you use the inside of your scissors without closing your scissors all the way. And when you do that, you drag the scissors down the hair as you're going in and out with the scissors. If you do it too aggressively, you will chop a whole piece of your hair off. The last cutting technique, I just call it grazing. I don't know if there's an actual word for it, but it's basically a slide cut, but instead of going down, you follow the direction of the hair, and I do that a lot for the length portion of my bangs so that they'll kind of go in that direction naturally. Again, if you want the long emo hair look, you don't want to cut the long parts of your bangs. Because my bangs are already pretty short, growing in from being straight bangs, I'm not going to cut them all sideways. I'm just going to slide cut and create layers on the top portion to give it more dimension. Again, the slide cutting is taking a piece from the top and sliding the scissors downward. You'll see me grazing because they're so used to being straight. I want to cut them to the side, but I'm not cutting any length. I'm point cutting the ends to thin it out. And as with the entire portion of this video, you're going to keep repeating. Keep point cutting, keep slide cutting, keep adding layers, keep teasing and adjusting. Nothing really has to be even. It's all about the layers. You just keep going at it until you get them nice layers in. Be sure to frequently adjust your hair and style it how you want to make sure everything is going the way you want it. As I styled it, I noticed that some pieces are way longer than others. That's why this is a good thing to keep doing, because you'll be able to even it out. The top layers are super important. It's what's really going to bring everything together. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go to the end of my part and follow through the same way we did with our bangs to the back of our ears. And put everything else back in a ponytail. And repeat on the other side. But before we go any further, we need to talk about parts. There are two types of ways to part emo or seam hair. There is a point part and a line part. The point part is when you follow the line that you made when you parted your hair to the very end and pick that point and brush everything from there forward. For a line part, follow that line that you made when you parted your hair to the end. And when you're styling your hair, you can brush it all forward, but don't cross that line. Don't erase it. So the next thing you're going to see me do is create layers with a technique that I saw in a tutorial for a shag haircut. We pick a side to start with first, and we go from our part, and we make a diagonal line towards our ears. We're picking thin sections to do this with. So once you make that diagonal part, it's very important that when you're doing this, you have to look straight on. It matters how you hold the hair, because if you hold it too far up or too far down, or if you cause too much tension by tugging on it, it'll come out uneven. This is how you should be holding your hair. You pull the hair forward and use your bangs as your guide. This is a very important part. Your bangs are always going to be your guide. In creating layers, you pull that long hair forward and you cut it the length of your bangs or even shorter. I like short layers. Because my hair is two different colors, you can see my guide clear as day. You notice how the red is still longer. I want the red to be shorter. Then we do it again on the left side, and we keep going back with our diagonal part. And don't be afraid to chop off that extra length first, otherwise you'll be there forever point cutting all of that length. It really doesn't have to be perfect. I know I keep saying that I wanted my layers to be short and I didn't make them short. It really doesn't matter. You can always go in and side cut and fix it. Just pay attention to your guideline. You could go shorter. You could cut those layers shorter than your guide, which is good for teasing hair if you like real big seam hair. Go to the right side, do the exact same thing. The first thing I'm doing here is, since I have a lot of hair on the right side, I'm going to part it at the parietal ridge, which is right where your face kind of tapers off. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with that piece. This step is optional again if you like having long bangs. You want to keep that fullness on that side. I decided to start with this piece because I want it out the way. Again, you could just skip it. It's completely optional. I like it shorter. Find your guide, point cut, chop all that length off, slide cut, same old stuff. Now here's me trying out a different method. It was not a good method. I realized I cut my hair way too short, but I fixed it by blending it with a slide cut. Easiest way to blend, make things look better, fix. You know, if you cut something too short, you just slide cut it. And now we finally get to move on to the last part. Now you'll see once we cut this, it's gonna make everything look amazing. I'm brushing all the hair up and I'm going by my shortest layer that I already have. But what you could do is you could grab a piece from the front, a long piece if you want long layers, a short piece if you want short layers, and use that as your guide. Remember, we want that disconnected look, so noticeably short layers in the back. Go. Layers. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. So now it's just. Oh my god. This really brings it together. I'm not going to touch it. Really take willpower. You don't want to touch stuff when you see it's messed up. And it's finally time to let out that back piece. Ta-da! But alas, we are not done. There is still one more step you need to do, and then there are a few steps you need to do in the future. So we're going to blend just a little bit more, check for any strays, and alter as you please, and then you'll have your emo or scene hair. And then you need to train your hair. In order to do this, we pick the two most important parts of this haircut, which is that side fan piece and your bangs. And you're just gonna pin them with bobby pins or clips or whatever you got. Now notice the placement of the bobby pins. I'm putting the first one right in front of my ear to keep that fan part going outwards. And then I'm gonna put one right where my part is at. Now of course if you have a point part, then you could leave all your hair forward and put the bobby pins where your point is at to tell your hair to grow in that direction. This is also going to help get rid of any cowlicks. Now for the bang part, it all depends on what type of bang you want. If you like flippy bangs, you can twist your hair, kind of flip it over and then pin it. Or if you like flat bangs, you can just leave it. You don't have to pin anything. And lastly, if you like when the bangs do a little flip over your eye, then all you have to do is guide your hair in that direction and put a pin right above your eyebrow. This is basically the look that you're going for. And you can put them in your hair and sleep in it, or blow dry your hair with them in, or wet your hair and then put them in and let your hair dry. Basically, just keep doing this, because watch what happens when we take it out. Now watch how versatile this is, because if I wanted to have scene hair, all I would have to do is tease. So what you do is you take these short layers on top and you back comb with a brush or an actual tease comb. And you do that all around your head. I only do it on half my head here, but people usually like to get the back of their heads and the other side as well. Go crazy with hairspray before and after you tease. And once you're done all that teasing, you just gently flatten it out. Don't flat out the frizz, just guide your hair how you want it. Add a little bow. And you're a scene queen. Wow, I am so tired of doing voiceovers. Look, I was gonna have a whole part about how to style it and how to get like fluffy little twists or whatever. I was gonna put a picture in it again, but it didn't want to work. My hair did not want to cooperate. I think I cut my bangs too short, or shorter than I know how to deal with. And then this one piece just didn't want to go anywhere. It was just so stubborn. I'm sure you can figure out how to like straighten your own hair based off of this. Like, it's not that hard. Just part your hair a lot, okay? I never see people parting their hair. It makes me so frustrated. Because you're not doing anything if you don't part your hair. Also, I just hate having short hair with this hairstyle because it really... Look, this is where I made that fatal mistake. I'm sitting here telling you how to move your flat iron and all that, and then my bangs, I just didn't want to do it. Watch this. it just stood up. I did this whole thing where I like make the ends all pop out all spiky, and it's cool in theory, but it just wasn't working. So I like went through and did all of that and then decided I hated it, so then I had to undo it, but it didn't want to undo. I don't know if at any point in this little clip I don't think it looks nice at all. This is the next day, by the way. Like, the day that I filmed this was the morning that I started working on this video. It's been like 8 hours. I am very tired. And I'm hating it. The more time goes on, the more I'm hating this video. Look, I thought I was slick, tried to clip it back, and I figured that would look better. It doesn't. It didn't. See, with this hairstyle, you have to wear it in, because when it's fresh and like you just straighten your hair, it's nice and clean, and you just washed it, it doesn't work. It never looks good. People don't tell you that. I'm spilling all the tea now because I'm so tired. This ain't a fun hairstyle. The only time it ever like works perfectly fine is if your hair was like absolutely fried from bleach damage. That's the only time it looks good. Look, there's that piece of bang. Still not working. I tried to do a hair flip there. Ain't not a flip. My hair's too short. There's no weight that kind of holds everything down. But you see me giving up? Look at my undercut poking out the back. It got so long. Anyways, I gave up, so hope you enjoyed. Hope it was helpful. I think it's boring and repetitive. Alright, bye.